Hello, 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 and welcome. Hello and welcome to the stream. My name is Lucky Pollo, and today, as you can see, I am actually going to be rigging my brand new Chibi model. I haven't really gotten started yet, aside from just, trying to mesh out some things. But I did want to just give a quick few words here. I am, technically speaking, still kind of beginnerish with rigging. However, I'm confident enough that I can obviously rig on stream. That being said, I am happy to answer any questions that you guys have. If you have any questions about Live2D and rigging, it can be used for all different kinds of things, and I am excited now that I actually kind of know what I'm doing, because there's so many things that you can do with it. Like, I made this, in my opinion, super adorable chibi model. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this. Yeah, I'm trying to see how fast I can rig this, so we are going to get started. I am actually still in the process of meshing everything, because when you do Live2D, you have to basically put attention to every little detail. I guess that's a good thing if you're more of a perfectionist with your art and stuff, but it does end up consuming a lot of time, and I think that's where most of the time goes with Live2D. So most of these things I'm just kind of doing an auto mesh to save time. Normally I would not suggest doing an auto mesh for everything, because there's a lot of parts that don't really work too well if you auto mesh. But in this case, we're trying to go for speed more than we are for super high quality, although at the same time, I do want some level of quality, because that's kind of what we're here for, and why I'm making a brand new model, because this one, well, you can see how bad it is. I am smoke and mirrors. I don't even have a lower 2/3, so this is gonna be a huge step up for me. So I'm just kind of going through, meshing everything that needs to be meshed. If you try to, like, highlight everything and mesh it, you're gonna have issues, because the program will overload and you'll end up with open meshes and wonder, where the heck is all my stuff? It just never is a good time. So we are just going to do this, for the most part, almost one at a time. All I'm doing is I'm going to each thing, using the automatic mesh generator. Some things, if they're kind of wacky, I'll fix them manually. Like this one needs to be auto meshed. Let's see here. Also, if you think that the music is a little bit too quiet, let me know. I'm trying to get this just right for Prism Live. I had it about right on OBS, but OBS doesn't like to behave. So this is what we're working with now. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but kind of necessary, you know? So for this one, it's the shadow. We're gonna just do a standard deformation. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. If you can do less deformation without it messing up the quality, that's ideal, because it helps your computer with not dying, especially if you have a brick for a computer. I'm lucky enough that I don't have a brick for a computer. And welcome on in, Teddy Deadrat. Thank you for the follow. Or rather, subscription, because it's YouTube. I am so used to being on Twitch. But I will say YouTube is so much better. I stopped doing YouTube stuff for a while, but because of how Twitch has been lately, I could not anymore. I really could not. They really need, like, they're doing more things now that are helpful, like having a way to kind of go through the clips that people have made, but it still has a lot of flaws. Still needs a lot of work, and people would very much like to have something that they can actually work with. That's kind of a little bit different of a piece. Actually, I could probably do just a standard. Yeah. I almost never do little because I find even if it's just like a simple shape, if it's rounded in any kind of way, shape, or form, it ends up looking a little bit weird if you try to deform it. So I recommend just basically always doing at least standard, or if you're me, do heavy deformation on a lot of stuff. The best way, honestly, is just to manually go through, but I'm too lazy for that. And also, we are working on not having issues later. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. So there are some things that you can do to kind of improve your rigging. I was just learning about glue this morning, and I did a little bit of glue up here for the bill. Speaking of which, I should probably actually just come up here really quickly and auto mesh some of this, because I feel like that's gonna be needed. I'm going to forget. ADHD is a thing. So here we go. We're getting the meshes done. I actually did a little bit of change to my design, just ever so slightly for the chibi model. Normally I wouldn't have tufts of hair here or here, or rather this would actually be like behind and the goggles would kind of go around. But I decided that no, I'm gonna have some up front because I think it's cute and I can make it bounce and stuff now that I know how to use the physics. So let's see here. We still need to do the mesh on these. So I'll probably use heavy deformation on that. And then heavy deformation over here. So the reason why, for those of you who do pop in and want to know like why I'm doing all this meshing stuff. So something that a lot of people don't know as far as like Live2D stuff is that there's a lot of stuff that goes into it to help the computer recognize what it is that it's doing. So you have to kind of help it along. And in this case, we are... that's a little too much. We can... These are just shadows. So I can just do standard. And you don't necessarily need heavy for everything. That's just me being extra. Like seriously. Some of these parts you're not really gonna see because they're under the clothes, but it's nice to have them there anyway, just because if I want to change clothes later, I can basically just dress up the model with the new clothes like art mesh and move along. Because you can import things, which speaking of, I'm going to quickly save this because I do not want to accidentally lose my work. I've had that happen way too many times. So this is your friendly reminder. Always save your work. If you don't think that you need to save, still save anyway. It's better to be excessive than to do a whole bunch of stuff and then you have a freak power outage and then you're sad because you don't have your stuff anymore and you have to redo everything. Okay, so I'm starting to actually get the real meshes here to work with. Now, you don't really have to do heavy deformation on everything like I'm doing, but I'm just doing it because it's easier for me. I am really going to have fun with the zipper, though. I want to see it swing, and I am going to enjoy doing the swing. Or rather, I'm going to enjoy the end result of the swing. Let me see here. We'll try it like that. Because that looks a little better. And then the zipper base, I'm gonna do just, because this is a more squarish looking one, I can just do even the little deformation for that. And then the loop, gonna auto mesh this, heavy deformation because it's such a small piece and I don't know exactly how much I'm gonna need to move it. Okay, so now we're starting to actually have some real meshing. All right. Auto. We're not going to be seeing the hands or anything really, but we're still doing this because once again, we're just going to kind of pair it with everything and that'll be that. It'll basically be rigged and all I have to do is just hide the gloves and it'll go to the hands. So, because we're going to glue those together. You're supposed to be... Oh, I see. But why? Left bare hand. Oh, I see. It's because I don't have it shown. I really need to work on that. I forget things all the time. Okay. So we can basically just put that in the same warp deformer and we should be fine. I can also literally just have the opacity toggled off, so it's not noticeable. Let's see here. Yep, that one is auto meshed. Okay, now let's take a quick look at the... Yep, the hips are done, pant legs done. Alright, so this is gonna need to be auto mesh to just... Okay. You know, a lot of this isn't necessary, and I did kind of overkill for this, so I'm gonna just, I think, get rid of all this extra stuff because it will not be shown. And because it's clipping, we're not gonna see it anyway. I'm going to increase the size of my eraser as well, because this is a lot to erase. I tend to get lazy and just use gradients, especially when I'm doing chibi stuff. It just makes things go a little quicker. And then there's less cell shading. I can't speak. Who else here cannot English? It's really bad because I am multilingual and English is also my first language. You would think that a linguist would not have issues with pronouncing her own language, and I do in fact have issues with that. So, this is technically not the right way to go about this. It's better to just fix the art itself, but you know, I was not thinking ahead. Don't do this. I do not recommend. 10 out of 10, do not do it. Because we don't really need all this. Yep, we do not need this. We do not need this at all. Okay. Got that auto connected. I'll just do that. It's not a big deal at all. Okay. So now I think we got about the right meshing for this. So we'll just hit OK. We got this. We'll just do a quick auto mesh. We want heavy deformation because we want this to be very movable. As you start to rig, you'll notice that things get a little bit easier too, because like at first you don't really know what you're doing, and then you just kind of learn as you go. And while that might seem like a scary thing, it's really not. It's actually kind of like interesting seeing how things change. Once again, I'm not done, but we are saving because we are not risking anything. Let's see here. Yep, the leg needs to be auto meshed. And then this one needs to be auto meshed. Hoping that I'm not missing anything else. Let's see here. Yep, that needs to be auto meshed. And everything has to be on different separate layers. That's just how it goes. Similar to the other one, I'm gonna just do, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do auto mesh. I'm gonna do deformation heavy, right? Okay. And now I'm just gonna erase everything that is not needed. Chat. You do not need to have an entire giant layer like this, and it gets kind of annoying to work with, so I am just deleting it preemptively. I am just keeping the part of the art mesh I'm actually going to be using. Okay, we're getting rid of this. Now we have a proper, well, a more proper mesh to work with, because, you know, we don't need craziness. We just need to have what we need. I promise. Okay. Now we have... Ugh. It's being a little bit rude. But I get it. It's because I'm doing this the kind of scuff not correct way. I don't recommend you do this. I recommend you just make it the right size to begin with. Let me see. Yeah, that should be good enough. Okay. How is this inappropriate? There we go. This is more proper. We have a success, I think. There we go. Now we have this part done. Once again, just to make sure that, you know, I don't lose anything, we are saving. Okay, so now I am going to go see real quick. Okay, we have this. Now we have the... I keep forgetting that I had the lines separated for some things, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to kind of glue things together. I recommend, you know, doing what you just have to do. And it's okay if you're not perfect when you start. I definitely was not. I still am not. Alright, so now I can do this. Highlight both of these, hit the solo, and then I can actually come in here And actually start moving things. Let me see here. This is part of that. So we are going to glue this. And then this one we can glue. Ugh. I hate when you have to get kind of a little bit picky about how you do this. Once again, still learning here, but I'm at least figuring some of these things out and not flailing about. And if I can do it and I have a bird brain, anyone can do this. You just have to actually put in the time and effort. Found those together, so now we got these kind of coming together because we want it to move together, right? I do that, and then I come back in here again so I could better see this. It's clear that this wasn't entirely opened up. I just want to make sure that it's completely meshed out properly. Combine that together. All right, and then I don't really need to have the lines go all the way up, so I'm not too worried. However, down here, this is definitely this should be fixed. This is bad. We're gonna fix this. First time using glue, I definitely recommend practicing before just jumping in. Granted, you know, I'm not the best person to follow advice on that if you're looking at leading by example. And hi Fallen, welcome on in. I am very happy to see you here. I am just struggling with life, as you do. If I hit that, I can actually kind of see now. So back in here. I'm just kind of meshing some things out. Getting things to work the way that I want them to. Or at least trying to. Can glue that one together. I'm sure I will get more efficient at this. In the meantime, I am not efficient by any means. Okay. Now those are bound. Now I can bind these. You're probably wondering, why do you need to bind those? Well, you see, when you have the lines separate from the actual, like, color, sometimes things get a little bit weird when you start warping them. And this keeps them together so that they don't kind of go off and do their own thing. Yes, it takes a little bit more time, but it's kind of important. It'll just make the rigging process so much easier. Okay, starting to make some progress on this meshing here. And do a quick binding on that. And as you can see, we're starting to actually see some things coming together. We're getting the meshing done. combine that. Okay, so we are almost done with this part. And we'll have to go do this for another part. Because that's just how it goes. Unfortunately. Okay, so now, if I move part of this mesh, it should actually move together because these points are connected. So that's the good news here. So now I can hit that. Save, because we're doing that again. Okay. Now we can take that off of solo so that we're not looking at that. We're just looking at the actual like model. I think I'm also going to do the glue over here for the sleeves. So that when I'm moving the sleeves, if I need to like move the arms, then it'll actually go together. So come up here. Got the lower and upper sleeves. I hit solo, come in here, start doing the meshing. So the way I saw someone else do this is like they were able to actually like just erase this whole area. And I'm curious if that helps me with this process. Also, I don't know why this feels like it's not getting any smaller. Well, we'll just do that, right? And we'll just come in here and... Okay, so I guess for this part, it's probably going to be easier to do it kind of like this, maybe. Trying to think of the best way to do this bit. I think maybe kind of like this. Not the best mesh job I've ever done. But you know, if it works, that's all that really matters. Although having a cleaner mesh, like I said, does help quite a bit when you're trying to do things. Like I'm gonna move that away from the side. I'm gonna kind of bring some of that meshing down. This is a little close down here, so I'm gonna kind of open that up a little. You don't want the mesh to be too close to the art because then you have issues with it like kind of clipping out and you don't really see the full thing and it looks just kind of weird. So I don't recommend that. So now I can kind of come up here and I'm gonna kind of do that so that we have a little bit of an understanding here. I know you don't really have to do every single thing here, but what is going on with this point? Okay, let's try this again without the weirdness that just happened. I don't know what just happened where that kind of like stretched across. I also don't know because I see, yeah, the auto connect did not properly move this together, I don't think. Oh well, I can kind of fix this Yeah, we'll fix this. Okay, back to this, you know. I'm just gonna do this for now. We're gonna kind of manually do this because it's not working. Once again, I am still very much new to using glue, so I am kind of figuring this out as I go. Okay, so from here to here. I'm gonna come in here like this. Whew. Undo. I did not mean to do that. The way that did that, I was not prepared. Okay, so here to here, here to here, here to here. It's kind of like connect the dots. A little bit therapeutic if you're someone like me who has awful ADHD and you just need a way to, like, not focus on things. So, probably kind of do this. That way it's bound together. So we can see how that works. Also, I might need to fix the art mesh because I noticed that the color is not properly aligned. It doesn't look like. Well, I suppose that's what happens when you try to rush things. And this is why I don't generally rush and why a model can take me 6 months. I don't recommend rushing if you can help it. It sounds like a no-brainer. But believe me, it's important. Okay. So we're starting to get some progress here. Yeah, so now that's glued to that. We're making slow progress. I want to know what this is about. What is exactly going on here? It's like a lighter area, and I'm not sure what that's about. I'm sure it's something that I messed up. Ah, well, let me see if I can figure it out. And that is something that you have to do when you do Live2D, is just troubleshooting. Let me see what all is here. Got the shadow for the back hair. What is layer 3? Why is this? Ah, I see. Okay. You gotta auto mesh this, right? And we'll do standard for now, right? Because this is not anything crazy. We're just gonna kind of erase. So we don't really need it. Although I realize this is for this part, so let me just undo that. Let me do all the parts that don't actually go to that. Just getting rid of all this because we do not need it. Not at all. Okay. Now we got almost proper meshing. I say almost because we know that this is just not correct, but we're rolling with it anyway. There we go. We'll just use a nice teardrop shaped thing. Yep, this is how we do things. We make sure it's nice and scuff. That's good you got Pupper to chill. He's usually extra. Okay. Now we got that part done. Let's see, what else? I think we're getting almost done with the complicated parts. I say almost because, well, still have to do more meshing, but we're making progress. Got that done because that doesn't need anything crazy special. I don't know why I put a capital I there. That is weird. But we are gonna auto mesh this. Let me see here. There we are. And I might actually even glue the middle strap to the goggles to make it easier. Although I could literally just keep it as is and then, like, just put it in a warp deformer. I'm pretty sure that shouldn't affect things too much. So, let me see. Gonna auto mesh. Heavy. What on earth just happened? Undo. I don't know why it just did that. Sometimes Live2D will be weird and you just have to undo what you just did because it messes with the mesh and you, like you just saw, you could not see anything. Okay. Now, let me look here. So I might just glue these to make it easier for myself. I'm gonna kind of just come in here with this. And then, like... I see. Okay. So, we'll do it this way, right? Here we go. We officially have the two art meshes bound together in holy matrimony. Now we can bind the other side. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to, like... Because if I go back, let me see. Yeah, the holes in the thing, I still don't know the best way to go about avoiding that issue, you know? Because as you can see, there's a little bit of transparency. I gotta figure out how to not have that issue, because I had that issue in my first model. And I didn't so much in my second model that I just finished. But it's like, you have to, like, really make sure that there's, like, no spaces, because it, like, really shows if you zoom in. Granted, you're not going to notice up here, and it'll probably just look like my hair reflecting. But still, it's not ideal. So we're gonna kind of come in here. Bring this in like this. Bind. We now have a proper glued mesh that will always forever be together. I don't know why I said always and forever, but That's how it is. Always and forever. So, now that we have that part done, you'll notice if we try to move any of the pieces that are like connected, okay, maybe not that one, undo. Okay, why is that one? No. Okay, I know that the glue thing helps with the... I'll figure it out later. As I mentioned, I literally have never used glue until now, so I'm still figuring that part out. Also, always remember to save, because you never know when something is going to happen. Let's see here. This one needs to be auto-meshed still. Let's see. That's like really close. I'm a little uncomfortable with how close this is. So I'm gonna kind of move this away. That's looking better. Okay. So the whole point of the whole meshing thing is just making it easier when you're moving it around. If you have a terrible mesh, you will find that things look very jagged and it does not look good. You can look at my model for, like my current one, for an example as to what not to do. My duckbill here does not look right when I open my mouth. And that is the direct result of just not knowing how to mesh things. Speaking of which, I don't feel like we really gotta have anything complicated here, so I'm just gonna do this. Although I'm probably gonna remesh with actually more. Yeah, like that. So I'm gonna have to still erase more anyway. Because I don't want so much stuff going on in the background with my computer. I just want to be able to use the art, the layer, if you will, to actually, like, shade things. I will say Live2D does have a few challenges to it for people who don't know how to use it. Like, for example, aside from, like, just the meshing and stuff, like, knowing what a mesh should look like. If you don't have enough of, like, these, like, triangles and stuff, you end up with a really weird kind of jagged look in the end. So we got that. Oh, lovely. Alright, so I'm gonna have to connect this to the base because I totally missed doing that. So we'll do that real quick. We'll mesh these together. Okay. Do a little bit bigger of a margin outside to kind of give us some room. Because I hate when the lines get messed with. Also, I'm going to come in here and actually get rid of a few of the things because I don't really need them. I intended to do more of the, how do you say, like, actually showing, like, the head shape, but I kind of decided against it because it was a little bit difficult with all the hair and layering properly. Because you can only stack so many things on top of each other in Live2D. I might even just stop this line here. And then kind of bring this up. And then that way it kind of matches the other side. And then this way, that. And then we can come down here. And then match this up. And then we'll come in here solo. Do the editing. And once again, we're going to kind of come in here and merge some things because that's going to make things easier on us. So we're going to kind of... And we gotta do this for the rest of this stuff too. So we'll just kind of come in here like this. Once again, we're just kind of staying along the bottom here. And we're binding everything so it kind of goes together. Can't have one without the other. And then we'll kind of come up here and do this part. And once again, bind all these things. And now we can kind of come through here and do all the manual editing of the lines because, oh my dear. Undo. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna undo. I'm gonna hit this for now. I'm gonna come back in here because once again, I'm trying to learn how to use this efficiently. Trying to figure out the best way to put this because I don't feel like this is a correct dot, but I'm gonna try my best to work with it here. Bring that out a little bit, kind of bring this here, make it a little bit more, make it make sense, if you will. We're gonna have more of these like along the bottom because that's where the line is. The good news is most of this will not be seen because on account of there will be a duckbill in the way. Yeah, have fun, Fallen. Thanks for popping in. I'm just trying to get through this process. Now with this along the lines, it should move a little bit easier. A little bit less weird when I am doing, like any of like the face positions. Because it'll actually want to kind of go with the lines. So yeah, the meshing is a little bit messy and difficult, but as long as it looks right when you actually like work with it, you should be fine. Oh man, all these lines. Because it's effectively editing two mesh at once. Originally, I did have this going up higher, but obviously I needed to hide it and have other stuff going on. Okay. So now I can kind of come in here. I'm gonna save. I need to also mesh out the mouth. We're gonna just do a quick thing here. Now that will need to be like auto meshed, I think, and then added to the mouth base because of the way I have it. So this is going to be quick auto mesh. And now I select these, I hit solo, do this to kind of bring them together. And now we can kind of lasso. Okay, something's not wanting to work. Oh yeah, just my computer at the moment. Oh, lovely. So this is when you save, and then you come back in here. So we're gonna... Yeah, this is not wanting to do anything. So I'm gonna quickly close this, reopen it back up. Wow, I can't believe it's almost been an hour. Ah. Okay. We now have Live2D back up. So we're gonna have to come back in here and get to what we were doing because on account of things did not want to work out. Solo, and then come in here like so. Okay, so it's struggling, so it might not want to do the glue right now. It's because there's, I guess, issues with the mesh. So we'll wait for this because the computer has decided it's time to be a little bit on the extra side. Yep, we are struggling. I did not know that my computer was going to struggle with this. I have never had my computer struggle with something like this. So, well, I just hit the auto connect. That might help. Oh geez. Oh geez. That is ugly. We're gonna undo that. Huh. Oh, I see the issue. So this mesh is glitched out. I have never seen this. This is quite interesting. You get to see some of the weird things that happen with Live2D. Yeah, I am aware that the mesh is opened. Live2D, you did this to yourself. Yeah, Live2D is really pushing it with the PC. I cannot believe my eyes right here. I'm looking at literally like 4.6 gigabytes just being used on Live2D alone. I've never had Live2D fight me so much. It's something with this one mesh. We're gonna try one more time to reopen this. I'm a little flustered here. Why is Live2D doing this to me? I did not have this issue on a much more complex model I just did. It might be all the glue. I might want to chill on the glue. We'll try this again. So we're gonna look. Ooh, that is not what I wanted to do. I meant to open this up. That was horrifying. So we're gonna auto mesh this. Why is it open? Why would it be open? It should not be open. We're gonna save this. Let's try this again. Okay. We might have a winner. Just took a little bit of scuff, you know. So now I get to move around the stuff and make sure it looks right. Because effectively this is overlapping mesh. So we'll come in here like this. So we got a little bit of a thing going on here. Once again, this should make things a lot easier when we're actually trying to do more complex things. So the red one is the bottom one here. Ah! Okay, this is working, I think. Unlike what we were looking at a little bit ago. I don't know what happened. That was just a little bit obnoxious, I think is the best word for it. So we save this because we always save our work. Alright, the lower bill. So I gotta figure out what's going on up here. I'm sure it's something I can fix. And now that the glitch, the mess up is done with Live2D, it's a normal 1.5 gigabytes of resources. I honestly, that was weird. Also, for anyone who streams or who, you know, just wants to make content, you know, if you are using OBS Studio and you are having issues, I recommend giving Prism Live Studio a try. I'm actually using it right now, and I find it works really well. There's even like a built-in chat thingy so that like you're able to... What is this? Oh, yep, it is in fact a different thingy. Okay, as I was saying, I find it works really well. It has a few quirks to it, but nothing that's like too crazy. And I'm not having the weird like issues with the stream dropping constantly. That's a huge issue I had with OBS. You know, I thought maybe, you know, it's just Twitch, but no, it's literally just OBS and Twitch don't like to be compatible, and OBS and YouTube are really not compatible. So that's what I've done, and it's worked. So 10 out of 10, you know, even like, for example, you know, a lot of people talk about like, you know, Twitch did like all these new alerts and stuff, but like, there's already so many services that have like the alerts. Like they could have made it better by just like integrating the alerts so that people don't have to put them as a browser source into their streaming software. And then Prism Live, if you want to like put chat, for example, in your stream, they literally, you don't have to get like a browser source. You literally just use their built-in tool and it does it for you. It's like magic. I love it. And the landscapers are taking some branches out of the property. It looks like they were mowing earlier, so I imagine that you know, they're doing their usual maintenance. It's one of the good things about living in this apartment complex, and oh my gosh, I keep forgetting that I need to click off before I do that. The nice thing about living in this complex is that they actually kind of take care of things. Okay. I don't like when this goes like white, because then I can't tell what is what. I don't know if there's an easy way to fix that either. Yeah, it is kind of funny though. I decided I was gonna learn Live2D because I was like, you know, there are so many Live2D model artists, and there's like almost nobody who does like the actual rigging, and that's bothered me. Like, for example, if you go onto Reddit and you go into the r/virtual VTubers or virtual YouTubers, you'll notice that there are a ton of people who are trying to advertise their art service, but then when you look at their service, it's just the PSD file. And I can understand that, you know, Live2D is not easy, like, per se, to learn. But what it boils down to, in my opinion, is, you know, the market. There's so many people doing model art, and there's only a handful of rigging artists, and like, it's effectively an untapped market, especially because if you, for example, want to work in game development, you can actually like use the models for characters. Twisted Wonderland, for example, is a fantastic narrative-driven gacha game for Disney made by Aniplex, and they use Live2D. You can tell it's Live2D, but that's not a bad thing. Live2D looks really good when it's done right. I cannot say that my current model that you see is done right, because it is not. Once again, we save our progress on everything because you never know So I'm gonna kind of bring that in. Because that doesn't need to be out quite that far. The good thing about Live2D is you can do like little minor model tweaks and stuff after you've already done it, just by changing your mesh here. But you have to be careful that like you don't inadvertently mess up other pieces at the same time. I've done that way more times than I would like to admit. So now we have this. Take that off. We now have that part rigged. We have that part, well, not really rigged, but you get what I mean. So now I got come up here and do all these bits. You know, you could literally just take the same parts and then mirror them, but like, I like to make it a little bit different on each side because it looks a little bit more organic. And yeah, that might take a little bit more time, but it's worth it. Speaking of worth it things, while I could use this mesh, I want this to be a little cleaner. So I'm doing it like this. And then this way, it's a little bit cleaner, and I could tell, like, when I'm actually moving it, it moves the right way. Because it's way too easy to mess that up. Kind of leaving that middle part a little bit more open because you don't really need to do a whole lot with the inside, it's mostly the outside. So, got the side lashes. Done. Bottom lash. Gonna do a quick auto mesh and then kind of work from that. Wrong one, but still same thing. Just a fun little thing is that this side that looks like your right is actually the left side of the model. So always bear that in mind. It's a little bit complicated or complex when you think about it, because when you actually physically move your face, the model's going to mirror like it would in a mirror. Even though you're doing like, this is the left and then that's the right over there. So this is the sclera. Already did the auto mesh for that. I'm gonna do a quick auto mesh for this. We're gonna do heavy. Do quick heavy. Can't see it, but it's getting the treatment of the deformers here. And the reason why I like to do like the heavier deformer too is also to make it easier when I'm doing like a jiggle with like the physics, like when the eye is like opening and closing and stuff. It makes it a little bit more expressive. Let me see here. So that's all that part. We got that part, that part, that part, that part. Okay, that looks about right. We got all those. This lash still needs to be done. I decided for this model I wanted to have a more like cartoony look. So I did very like round, cute eyes. Versus my current model, which you see is a little bit more mature and serious. Although, I'm not very serious of a person. I'm sure you noticed. So since that part is all done, we'll come up here to the eye highlights. I'm gonna come in here, make sure that these properly warp, because that would just be a tragedy. Let's see here. Heavy. Heavy. And actually for this, I'm thinking about a heavier mesh. As much as I would love to, you know, maybe I'll just keep it like this. I'm not sure I want to deal with the aftermath of trying to figure that part out. Thinking about it. Yeah, this part is just up here. And yes, some of these pictures, like when you're looking at your model, it's gonna look kind of scary because like when things are not the way Live2D expects, things just kind of go weird. So, a quick thing about the eyes, they do get kind of complicated because when you are trying to close the eye, for example, you're gonna run into some issues with having multiple layers stacked on top of each other. My solution for my most recent model was to kind of just shrink everything down, but in hindsight, I really should have used opacity, but at the time I was still learning that opacity was a thing and that you can actually mess with it. I know I just saved. I gotta double down and make sure that everything is as it should be. So, the next part, and this may be a shocker to you. Got the sweat, got all that, okay. But now we get to basically, like, make warp deformers for everything. So, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna hope that this works properly. Oh, right, I need to actually quickly do this side with the... Oh, I didn't even... I didn't even do this side. Ah! So, I gotta quickly... just do that. I actually kind of want to glue the regular meshes underneath to the clothes to make sure that they kind of just move together in tandem. That is very important to me because we need things to actually work. So let me see here. Lower arm on the left side. Yep, I forgot to mesh this. Silly me. Okay, so now these are all meshed. So I think I'm going to start gluing everything because once again... Oh, and I need to do the zipper real quick. Can't forget about the zipper. Also, if you guys want to see how I did like this zipper, for example, because I know it looks like really detailed and stuff. A fun little fact is I actually just use a zipper brush. It makes things so much easier. And then to make it like vary like that, I basically just use it on the vector layer and I'm able to actually adjust the widths and stuff, which is super useful if you ask me. now I think I'm almost ready to actually start the parameters. Oh my goodness, you would think that it would not be such a big deal to, like, do this kind of thing, but it takes usually like an hour or so just to do this part. Okay, solo. Edit. And this is the part where I'm gonna go like this and hope for the best. Gonna bind. Okay, and then we're gonna go back in here to edit again, doing it like this because there tends to be issues, I've noticed. Also gonna make sure this isn't too close to the arm, because then you can have issues with the mesh cutting off. Once again, does not seem like a big deal until you have issues, and then it's a big deal. I'm gonna kind of pull these along the line. That way when I'm moving the dots using a warp deformer, it just goes properly. I feel like there could be an entire class just on meshing. And while it is a little bit tedious, it is a necessary evil. Like making sure that this goes along the line, for example, because if it doesn't, we're gonna have issues. Because it's gonna look a little bit jagged, and I don't want that. Also, if you guys know anyone who wants to learn Live2D, but they just don't know where to start, always feel like free to like reach out to me. I mean, I'm technically speaking a beginner myself, but I know enough to actually navigate the software and do rigging. So don't hesitate to actually like talk to me. I enjoy helping people. Put that along there. And that's going to be a little bit weird. But this is going to come over here to kind of continue the line. And while I am, getting to learn myself, I do think I know enough at this point to be able to do just about anything I want. I just need to actually do more models. Which, by the way, if you guys want to see like a specific type of like animal or pet, like for Live2D, I am actually working on a project with another artist to make a chibi dragon set. Kind of like a collection of customizable chibi Live2D dragons that you could use. I also have a poll up on my Twitter account to vote for the next like pet or creature thing that we make after we do the dragons. Which actually this would be the link to be able to vote. The options I put up are Fairy or Fae, Kappa, and Griffin, but you can also add a different one in the comments if you think that there's one that I missed, because there's only 4 options for putting, you know, options in polls. Okay, so we're looking about right. I think this could stand to come out a little bit. Now, in theory, this should move more appropriately when I'm actually, like, moving it around. Now we can take that off. Also, you can turn off the grid. I usually have it up because it helps me visually. Let me see. I'm gonna quickly save. We always save. Let's see here. So for the glove, we want it to also be with the bare hand because, you know, although the glove is not as strongly meshed for some reason. Abby? Okay, so we're gonna do that. We are going to hit solo. Then we're gonna do the mesh edit. And we'll just... There you have it. We have all of the things together, except, you know, I need to not do that. And yeah, it looks a little crazy, but it'll be worth it. There we go. Now we have like a proper... At least it feels... Might just put that there. Oh, it's not so crazy. Yeah, that's still crazy, but you know... We'll just come back. Go over to the other side, and oh my goodness, where did we go? Oh, I did not mean to do that. We'll do that. Yeah, here we go. So we'll just solo, come in here to edit. We'll do a quick lasso. Bind. Always moving that to a better position because, you know, mesh can be weird. Putting that kind of close, not too terribly close. Now, normally the best practice is also to draw each of the fingers and stuff separately, but I did this the lazy way. So there will be less movement. Kind of a rule of thumb is that you're going to get less movement when you basically combine everything. Real quick, I am going to take a quick drink. As always, we save. Okay. I still want to know what's causing this weird, what looks like clipping. I'm very curious. I don't know what this is about. So what is going on with the neck shadow? Well, you know what? Let's auto mesh. Okay. Okay, so this is gonna be interesting. So I guess the best thing to do here, since this is an issue with the, let's see if just deleting less of the mesh helps. We'll still keep the bulk of it, you know? And maybe, just maybe, this will be enough. I needed to stop opening the mesh, though. This is, like, weirdly doing it. Okay, let's see if this made things better. Okay, I don't see any weirdness, so it might be fine. Now, you might be probably wondering why I unhid some of these things, because obviously we're not using them yet. Well, the simple answer is we have to kind of just take everything. And we're making a warp deformer. So this, I'm just gonna call this character warp, because this is literally just to be the parent deformer of everything. And I'm gonna see if this is just, I want to say I want to have it on the root because this is gonna affect everything. So now, in theory, if I hide the bounding box... Yes. Okay, so we literally have our whole thing here. This is fantastic, because we're gonna need this. Also, as you can see, this is very weird. Obviously, we're not doing that. But when you're making a bunch of deformers for other parts, you kind of want to have that because it just helps. We're also going to quickly import the parameters I used for the last model that I did, that I just finished. So I'm gonna quickly figure out where that is in here, because I know it's in here somewhere. Let me see here. Gonna save, and then I'm gonna do, I gotta remember how to do this because I just did it for another model that I'm working on off stream. Let me see, I think it's the, yeah, it's not that. Where was it? Bulk setting of parameters. Import. Let's see here. So we are gonna come in here for I think this is the wrong one. There we go. Now we have all of our parameters. So now I can actually get started on all of the setup. So that's basically what this stream has been. It's just been a setup of everything. Your inputs are basically like if, you know, your physical body and stuff is moving, or if your head's moving, it tells the program how to move it. And you can attach physics to these parameters, which gives you a very interesting and nice result. But for now, we have our first main warp deformer, which is just supposed to be a parent of everything to make it easier later to start, you know, putting things in a hierarchy. Because I did not know anything about hierarchy before I started on my last model, and that was a disaster. Granted, I still managed it, but... So, all of these, I'm gonna kind of hide them for now, because we don't need them. However, I do know that the irises should be clipping to the scleras, so I'm gonna do that respectively, although there is a chance I'm gonna have issues with it because of the way the Live2D works. But who knows, maybe I'll come up with a really interesting effect as a result. This should clip to the right sclera, or rather the right sclera copy should be on the clipping for the okay, so that looks about right. The highlights are going to be where they are because they're on the outside. That was intentional. The pupils I can attempt to make go on to their thingy. So actually copy that art mesh, go over to the clipping ID here, and then so now when things move, they should actually stay, as you could see. This ain't going anywhere except for on the eyes. Although that's actually kind of a cool effect. I might make that like a toggle. We're undoing that. We're going to save this now that we have the bulk of that part done. And this is going to be an interesting thing moving forward on this because, yeah. Let me see here. So we got the tongue done. Just want to make sure everything is actually meshed, and I think I got everything meshed right. Because that will cause issues later. Could technically also glue the legs together, come to think of it. That way, well... So we're not really going to see these for now, so I could also just do this and be a bit lazy. Whoop, we're not doing that. Might just be lazy and do like the actual body later. And then just do like the clothing and stuff for now. But yeah. Hold on. Is that meshed? Yeah, that's meshed. For a moment there I thought it wasn't meshed because it was just the box. Yeah, or I might even, you know. But yeah, I think for now I'm probably gonna wrap up stream because I'm getting a little bit peckish. I need to eat some food. But I do want to thank you all for coming to the stream today. I am thinking about doing more of these streams on Saturdays, and also it looks like my Nightbot did not join the channel, so I guess I get to you can't have a VTuber stream without some scuff. That's just part of the territory. So that is the Discord. Oh hey, welcome on in, Sent. Nice to see you. I'm sorry because I got kind of hungry and I've been doing this for like almost 2 hours now. But yeah, I got the model mostly like meshed up, ready to go. I just need to do a few more things and I can actually start rigging. But yeah. So if you guys are not there, I just posted the Discord in the chat. And I'd like to be able to do another one of these next Saturday, possibly again during the week. And also, if I can actually come up with the time, I would also like to do crowd control on my gaming channel on Monday, this next Monday, because I did not do it last week, and I know I'm behind on my work, but I would like to have some fun. So yeah. So once again, thank you all, and I hope to see you very soon.